Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy met with U.S. President Joe Biden at the White House on Wednesday as the leaders tried to show a unified front against Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Now, President Zelenskyy thanked President Biden, U.S. lawmakers, and ordinary people of America for their support as he visited the White House, while Biden told Zelenskyy that Ukrainians inspire the world. Before the two leaders began an Oval Office summit that was Zelenskyy's first known trip outside his home country since Russia invaded in February. In a brief remarks before reporters, Biden pledged continued financial, military, and humanitarian aid for Ukraine, but he also warned that Russia is trying to use winter as a weapon in the war. Zelenskyy said he wanted to visit the U.S. at an earlier time, but could not. The highly sensitive trip was taking place after 10 months of brutal war that has seen tens of thousands of casualties on both sides and devastation for Ukrainian civilians. Now, just before his arrival, the U.S. announced its largest single delivery of arms to Ukraine, including Patriot surface-to-air missiles, and Congress planned to vote on a spending package that includes about $45 billion in emergency assistance to Ukraine.
Of course, thanks bipartisan support, thanks Congress, and thanks from our just ordinary people to your ordinary people, Americans. I really appreciate. I think it's very difficult to understand what does it mean when we say appreciate, but you really have to feel it. And thank you so much. Great honor.
Now, meanwhile, before President Zelenskyy's arrival in the U.S. to meet President Joe Biden, crowds gathered in Washington, D.C. to welcome his historic visit to the country.
Their summit was Zelenskyy's first known trip outside his home country since the war began in February. Zelenskyy traveled under American protection and was accompanied by the U.S. ambassador to Ukraine on a train to Poland, and then he was whisked to a U.S. flight, to a U.S. government plane for the flight to Washington. A privacy screen was erected at the entrance to Blair House, a traditional lodging for visiting dignitaries, to camouflage Zelenskyy when he arrived to prepare for his meeting with Biden. Security was tightened around the White House, with pedestrians barred from Pennsylvania Avenue.
No light, no heating, no water. And every day they're scary about bomb will fall down to their house. I just hope our president will manage to do.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy unfurled a Ukrainian flag at the conclusion of his speech before a joint meeting of Congress Tuesday.
As he presented the flag to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Pelosi presented him with a flag that flew over the U.S. Capitol. In his speech, Zelenskyy stressed that Russia has been using Iranian drones to attack his country, and he is pledging there will be no compromises in trying to bring an end to the war. President Joe Biden and Congress are responding with billions in new assistance and a pledge to help Ukraine pursue a just peace. Biden welcomed Zelenskyy to the Oval Office on Wednesday, saying the U.S. and Ukraine would continue to project a united defense as Russia wages a brutal assault on Ukraine's right to exist as a nation.
Troops and citizens, may God forever bless the Union.